Welcome, lovelies. Today we're working on a little bit of problem area that I have. Now, everyone is different. So, everyone who suffers from weight loss or weight gain and obesity each have different areas in their on their body that they feel is problem areas for them, areas of their body that they don't really particularly um, like or whatever. So we want to change all that. So I've been working on my jawline a lot, and we've gone through lots of videos on makeup and products and things that can help our face. We're still working on that. And the other problem area that I have is my arms, my arms. So I've been lifting weights, and I'm also trying this new little experiment. So I've been putting some stuff on my arms here. I did it yesterday, and it actually, I think it helped. So we're doing that, and then we're going to put some clean wrap on them. Might have to get the other one out. I think this one is about done for. So you just lay that on there. And I put it on yesterday, and I went all day with it on. And I was going to make sure I did it the opposite way this time, and I didn't. And you just pull it kind of firm. And let it connect. Wish the piece was longer. We could maybe wrap it again. So when I do that, I think this is about gone. We can maybe wrap it a little bit more on this side. And we'll get a new piece for the rest. And it helps not only the skin to get more hydrated, but it just, I think it helps some of the cellulite. I think it helps some of the cellulite, and it helps it to start to bond together, start to firm up a little bit more. Let's get some more plastic wrap. Get a longer piece this time. I'm going to have to really stock up on this if I keep doing this. All right, so we're going to go rub this in. It's helping. It is so helping. One day already, I can tell the difference. And you want to do your plastic wrap this way. It's much easier. I think this is the way. No, I'm still doing it the opposite of what I want to do. The opposite of this. It's much easier. I want to make sure that I get that little skin that's up here, you know? So when you wear dresses, you wear short sleeve dresses in the summer, you have all of this flab hanging out. You want to tighten it up, make it look younger, make it look more presentable, right? And make us, the owners of it, feel better about it, right? I think I got enough on this side. I maybe could do a little more on this side, I think. Make it tight, a little bit tighter. So the part I want to do, I'm going to put it on the back this way. So it's easier to pull around. there, there. Okay. And go tighter. Makes it nice and firm. And actually, I wore this under a long sleeve shirt yesterday, and I wore it when I went and got a haircut. And the shirt that I had on, my arms actually looked smaller in the shirt that I put on, the long sleeve shirt that I put on. So it was, it made my arms look slender. It made them look much thinner. And even now, look at how they look now. So even if you just wear this as a quick fix with a long sleeve shirt, it can help to pull in some of the chunkiness and make it feel, look how it looks so much better than just flabbing, right? So much better than just flabbing around. And I really felt more confident in the shirt that I had on. And it really did help look much better. Let's see. I have this little shirt that I was going to wear, little sweater I was going to put on that I like. Before, my arms looked really chunky in this sweater, but I like this sweater just at least wearing around the house, because long sweaters are hard when you need need to wear a winter coat, because it's winter here right now. So, but yeah, look at the difference. I mean, look at that. It looks so much better. Oh my gosh. Looks like I lost 10 pounds in my arms, you know? Look at that. That is a quick fix, you guys. And I hope it's going to be a long-term one. If I keep doing it and leave it on there for hours at a time, hopefully it will start to bond some of the tissue back together and start to, you know, get back together. Plus, I'm lifting weights, so that's helping too. So all of that together is kind of helping the problem areas. So what is your problem area? Put in the link below. Let me know in the comment section, what is your problem area? Like mine was my neck, my chin, and my neck here. And then my other problem area is my arms. And then the next one we're going to work on is the belly. So I'm going to do the same thing with the belly. And yeah, and just try to cinch it all in, right? Lose weight and cinch it in. Isn't that what we want? We want a beautiful experience in life. And when we feel more confident, we feel better about ourselves, we can live much happier. Yeah. So I hope this little trick helps you guys today, and take it for what it's worth. I don't know what it's worth to you, but for me, it made me feel so much better than my long sleeve shirt. And it was kind of a tighter, thin knit shirt that I had on that I wore to go get my haircut. I got my haircut. I like it. I think it's so cute. And I'm going to go and curl it, and I'll show you guys that too. And so it just really boosted my confidence in this working. And even if it's just a simple fix, like if you're wearing a summer dress and it's a little bit longer sleeves and they're a little bit snug on you or whatever, and you do this little cinching in little trick, it could maybe boost your mood too in your self-confidence. So thanks so much for watching, and we're going to go on to the next clip. Okay. Welcome, everyone. So we're going to do a little makeup. So I have my plastic still on my arms, and I'm going to wear it all throughout the day today. So I have that going on both arms. So hopefully it can help some of my problem cellulite and my chubbiness, and it can really make a difference, right? That's what we want. We want to make a difference. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and put on the eye serum first, vitamin E eye serum first. And we are going to curl our hair today. I got a little haircut, and so I'm excited to see how it's going to look, how I want to style it, and all that. So I'm excited about that. And I needed it. I had a lot of little split ends and things. And it's like, let's just get it done. Okay. All right, and then I'm going to put on this glow. So this Jergens natural glow. So it's got a little tint and a little lotion in it. And it comes out really fast. You have to be careful. It just kind of like runs out. And you have to really be careful with it. You'll get too much instantly. Give us a little color. And moisturize us at the same time. So that's going to be nice. I did put a little hairspray on my hair already and kind of brushed it through. So when I get ready to do the curling iron, it will hopefully hold a curl, because my hair is really hard to hold a curl. It's a little bit stubborn hair. So we just work with what we got, right? That's what we do. We're going to put on some firming cream. We have this hibiscus and honey one. It's snowing here today and it's cold. So it's a day where you just don't even feel like getting out. And make sure that when you put your firming lotion on, that you even go down on your neck, because it can firm up that too. It can really help too. Someone home today, so I'm gonna be making a little noise. I'm gonna grab a tissue. The stuff on my lips, and it doesn't taste too good. And then I'm going to do the actual moisturizer. So most of these products have a little bit of moisturizer in it. And you only need a little bit of this. It's kind of loosen or whatever you could call it. And it just goes a long way. It really stretches. So you don't need very much. Make sure you go all your wrinkle areas, right? Some people wrinkle more across the forehead. You want to make sure you get there. Wrinkles around your eyes, down here. Just do wherever you have wrinkles, because everybody is different. Everybody's problem areas are just different, and we just have to know where to work, right? Know where to focus our attention. Now I'm going to do a little bit of concealer. So I'm just going to do some of this, mainly under our eyes. I might have to move my mirror just a little bit around our nose here. Both sides of our nose. Up here, blend in my eyebrows a little, and I got a little blemish there, so that's where I need it. And then down here, some blemish. Make it a little darker down here for the little cheeks to blend in a little bit. That's where I need it. There. Looking better already, you guys. Looking better already. I'm going to move my mirror this way just a little bit, because I need to really be able to see into the circle when I start doing my eyes and stuff. So I think you guys can still see. Okay, let's do our foundation. I hope you guys are having an amazing day today. Starting the weekend, right? Any big plans for the weekend? We have a lot of plans to clean up. We're going to clean up some different areas around here. We're going to use that a little later. And what do we need? Foundation. Do some shopping maybe this weekend. Cleaning up a little bit. I have a big fig tree that's in my sewing shop that is not getting enough light. So we're going to move it into the living room. I think the living room. I like to put it by my sliding door, but I don't know if I can. I don't know which place would be best. Sliding door might be the best, but okay, and then just blend that in. I blend it in all over. Now, some people use foundation and they probably just do it maybe just lightly, like around their eyes, maybe, and not everywhere else. But I have a lot of different blemishes, and so a little bit of dark spots here and there. So blending it in and having a nice color of foundation really helps me look better, feel better about myself. So I like that. All right, and then we're going to start with some little eyeshadow. And let's use that one palette that we used the other day. And it really had, here's our mascara we're going to use. We'll use this brush. We might just do our brows with this brush up. Is that the new one? Yeah, that's the new one. It's kind of a muddy gray color. And then we'll do our eyelashes. And eventually a lipstick, a lip pencil. I still have to read up on how to do the wax. I'm not real sure. A little, that's a brow pencil. We can maybe touch up with that. And I'm looking for my liner. I'm always looking for my liner. Oh, I was looking for this palette. We might use something from there. I seen someone doing a kind of a smoky pink with then grayish gold or silver on top. It actually looked pretty nice. I don't see where my liner is. Maybe I have it in my hand. Maybe I don't. Or I could have popped it in my brush thing here. Maybe I popped it in here yesterday in a hurry, and I could have done that. Let's see. I don't see it for some reason. There's two brushes we're going to use. Pull them out. Well, darn it. Just don't know what I could have done with it. I don't see it anywhere. I'll leave this nail polish out because I'm going to touch up my nails later. Yeah, I just don't. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it at all. Well, we'll skip the liner today because I don't see it. And we're going to get a new one anyway, so. Okay. Let's go. Let's do a little eyeshadow. Oh, I want that. All right, I'm going to do a little kind of white under the eyes. Kind of a little sparkly white. sparkly white. And then we're going to use, let's see, I'm going to use a little pink from the other palette, from this palette. And then towel on me. So I want to rub, you know, I like to rub my brushes on here. I did my roller bar on my face last night, and I also lifted a little weights from my arms. I did my trampoline. Every little bit helps. I would like to do my trampoline a lot more often, and I've got to be able to start finding time to do, you know, like 4 or 5 sets a day on my trampoline would be nice. So I can build up my endurance, you know, because I get on there and I get winded, you know, and I want to be able to go longer. That looks nice. Okay, we're going to do that. And then we're going to put the little, I'm going to leave that out because I'm going to use the other thing again. So I'm going to use a little of this kind of smoky silver right here. This kind of make it a little bit kind of lighter smoky eye down here. A little sparkle. And I went up just a little bit more than just the lid. And then you can take the back of the brush and kind of blend it down, blend it back. That looks sweet. I think it looks nice. Ooh. I want to get too much. I'm just going to blend it now. Blend it. I hope we don't get too much snow. I'm so tired of it. That one weekend we got 30 inches. It's like, oh my gosh. I thought we were going to be snowed in forever. I don't know. To me, it's kind of depressing when we get snow. I mean, I like it okay at Christmas time, just a little bit, just a little color, little something different, but enough is enough. So we're going to do that. I'm going to do a little blush. I'm going to do this lighter color, the same color I used on my eyeshadow. I'm going to use that at the top here. And I noticed yesterday in the regular light, I had too much makeup on when I went to look at myself before I went to go to the hair appointment. So I had to tone it down. It's like this light shows up a little bit differently than natural light, you know? So then I looked in my bathroom and I was like, wow, I can really see, you know. Let me try to shut the door. He has no consideration for anybody that's doing anything.
That's no problem.
Sorry about that, you guys. Oh my gosh. That's one thing about my husband. He has no consideration for any of my time or whatever I'm doing. It's just all about him. Just really, it just gets me crazy sometimes. I'm sorry. Don't mean to vent on you guys. You know how they can be. Oh, well. All right, then we're going to use a little darker shade of blush. We're going to go underneath there. Thinks I want to sit around and do what he does. No, thank you. No, thank you. We're going to do some bronzer and we're going to do some highlight. Oh, let's put the brush in there again. I won't be able to find it. Okay, let's do the bronzer first. I'll use this nice big brush. Some of these big brushes like this, they're nice to have for blending and stuff like that. But the smaller ones are nice to have for like really detailed, get in there, fine detail, you know. So we're going to do a little bronzing down here towards my neck area, my cheeks. And under that darker foundation, blush, underneath that other blush. And you can just blend it in and make your neck appear smaller. Right? And I'm going to go a little bit on the sides of my nose, just kind of blend in my laugh lines a little bit. Look much sweeter, much nicer. I think so. Okay, and then we are going to do a little highlight. Today we're going to find a little brush. Use this little one. We're just going to go down my nose. And you want to make a straight line. And then just kind of blend it in just a little bit. And then I'm also going to go under my eye, but off to the side here. And create a little drama there. Way in the corner of your eye and just kind of pull it out. And then you can kind of blend it. That looks nice. Very nice. Very nice, matter of factually. All right, then we're going to do a little brow pencil. See if we can bring these brows over to the middle a little more. See here. Come more, just a little bit more. Just a smidgen would help it to look. What's that? This is a bit longer. Kind of like that. Kind of squared them up a little bit, something a little different. Let me see. I'm going to take this brush, brow brush, and just kind of very gently, because we don't want to rub off what we just put on. We don't want it to look like we've marked them on, right? We want them to look a little natural. So if you're drawing your eyebrows on, and you're not like blending them a little bit, it can look a little old-fashioned, I think. I think drawing them on looks old-fashioned. I don't care. I'm just going to say it. Sorry. But if they're like my part right here and they just won't grow, and you just can't get enough, that's a different story. Not perfect, but I like it. I think it's okay. All right, let's see what what cap goes with what pencil now. I don't think that goes. That goes. This goes. We got it figured out. My eyes got makeup on them now. Glasses. All right, we're going to do our little curler. I'm going to do a little curling. Oh, yeah. Got a good grip today. Don't get your skin in there. I almost did. Your eyelid in there. Didn't do too good. A little better. All right. I'm going to do a little. What else do we have left? We have. We're going to skip the liner because I don't know what I did with my pencil. We could do a little blue. I had a blue liner. I don't see it. I thought maybe it was just right here on top. I was going to grab it. I'll do a little blue. We got blue on today, so maybe I'll go for it. Eye is watering. It's going on a lot better than it did the other time when I first bought it. So I'm really trying to stay away from the wet area and just only put it on the dry area. That looks so nice. Little drama. Yeah. Kind of like it. Maybe I'll wear it more often. I might wear that to the baby shower. Blue for a boy? Yeah. For a little grandson? Yeah. I can do that for him. Okay, we're going to do a little mascara if we can get our eye to quit watering. Let's make them gorgeous today. Let's make ourselves beautiful in a way. Told you guys before I can't sing. Beautiful. The back parts are going on pretty good today. I'm going to find some Claritin today. I just can't stand this. Sniffling, this sounds terrible. I know I had some. Just have to find where I was giving it to my son. My son was taking some Claritin. like okay. Do that. Save it for myself. And it actually might be, if you don't mind. I thought I had it in one of these drawers here. That might be up top. It might be up top. I think it is up top. Did I lose my tissue? I think I did. Oh well, we're going to get a new one. All right. Okay, let's do a lips. Let's do a little pencil. Pull that foundation up. I need to sharpen this pencil. I don't know why they would make them so tiny like this. Is it worth the sell? Okay, and we're going to go with red the rest of this month. I'm going to go with red lipstick. Very sweet. Very nice. All right, we'll get our hair curled a little bit. Oh, we're going to do the serum on top. See how it separates? You have to make sure that you shake it. And you get a nice... Smell is wonderful. Oh, I say that every time. I know I do. I'm going to move these little shoes back so I don't drop them. All right, let's see what we can do here. I think it's a pretty nice little haircut. Be nice for summer, a little shorter. And get rid of those split ends. So we're going to just do this top portion. Just kind of curl it back from our face, back away from our face. Something like that. Get one curl. Give it just a little bit of bounce, you know. Make it look like somebody really cares about it. Not going unmanaged. Looks adorable. What did I drop? I dropped my brush. Doggone it. Doggone it. Making us beautiful. Simply beautiful and such. It's going to look really nice. We'll have to go to the other side. Got a little bit more to do with this. And the less you take, the better it does. You take hunks like this. Just so you curl the ends a little bit, just gives it a little bit of flow, you know. Okay, I'm going to do this side. Let me gather my brush, if I can reach it here. All right. It's always a little bit harder to do on the other side. There we go. I think we got it. So what are you guys doing for yourself this week? Are you doing anything nice? Are you getting a new haircut, or you're polishing your nails, or doing a nice foot bath, or laying in some hot bubbles, or what are you guys doing for yourself this week? You know, this is the month of love, and you have to love yourself. What can you do that can make you feel loved, you know, and not with food? I was reading something today, and it said they did this. There was a psychiatrist lady that was interviewing a patient or whatever person, and the lady was obese, and the lady said, I just can't lose weight. I can't lose weight. I can't do it. I can't do it on my own. I need something else or whatever. And so the therapist asked her, so what is it that you think that you would need to be able to concentrate on yourself and to be able to lose weight? She said, I need to myself 2 hours a day. She had kids and she had work and she had all this stuff going on. And so the therapist told her husband to hire a childcare person to come in, you know, a nanny or whatever, and to come into the home or to take the kids 2 hours to a daycare or whatever, you know, to get the kids out of the house for 2 hours and let the mom have 2 hours to herself. And you know, she lost all the weight she needed to lose, all the weight. She lost all the weight. She just needed that extra concentration. She needed that extra time to think about what she was doing, right? She needed the extra time probably to prepare her own meals, to, you know, exercise, to think about weight loss, you know? And that's what it takes. It takes a focus on yourself. And, you know, everybody else can try to get in the way of what you're doing, but you have to, you know, love yourself enough to say, no, not this time. You know, I'm going to do it this time, and that's it. You know, I'm not going to let anybody pull me off track. You know, I'm going to get my weight off once and for all. I'm going to get my health in check, and I'm going to get my, um, you know, get your health, you know, in good recording and all that. Get it all going really good. And yeah, I can't believe it, just because she said that she just didn't have time. And I know I talked to a lot of women that are still working, you know, they're like my age or more or less, whatever. And you know, that's one thing that they tell me, that now is not the time. I'm still working full time. I just don't have time, you know. But then each year that goes by that you don't feel that you have the time, that's deeper and deeper, playing a huge health risk at your on your health. You know, it's just, you know, because year after year the weight just compiles. You know what I mean? So I can understand that they're busy, but you know, it just takes a little bit of time to make yourself something healthy compared to eating something unhealthy, like what my husband bought with that big, huge cheesecake, 700 and some calories, you know? Oh my God. So I asked him last night, do you want to eat the cheesecake that you bought, or you want some of my cheesecake? Oh, I'll have some of yours. So he didn't eat it after I told him it's 56 grams of sugar in it. Oh my gosh. That's a lot of damn sugar. I think you're only supposed to have, like, in a day, like 25 grams or something of sugar, like your limit, your all-time limit for the day, you know? And he, oh, yeah, and wonders why I don't feel good. I don't feel good either when I eat that much dang sugar. Can't get off the couch, makes you sleepy. You eat a lot of sugar, it just makes you tired, lazy, like a feel sorry for me attitude, just once you get off the sugar kick and you start eating, natural sugar or a substitute sugar or whatever, you can see yourself like gaining more energy and you can start thinking clearer. Your mind's not foggy. It's not like all in a sugar fix, and just it can kind of slow you down to concentrate on yourself, and that sugar really is very damaging, that white refined sugar. You don't want that. You got one more piece here. That's going to be about it. I got one up here a little bit higher, so I'm going to take this and go a little bit more. Maybe like that. See how we look. I still have enough hair that I can get it in a ponytail, so that's important to me. Like when I go and work in the garden and stuff, I want to be able to still beautiful. Pretty nice. Pretty nice, I say. Got a lot of static in my hair today from, I don't know what, maybe it's the, it might be the hairspray or something. Do this a little bit more. So it kind of matches the other side a little bit. There, I'm just going to leave it. So I have one up a little bit higher than the other one, but it's better than it was, right? Better than it was, yes. All right, cool. I can unplug this. Put that down here. And we'll talk to you in the next segment. Hello, ladies. We are making some mushroom soup, but first we have to individually wrap some sweets so they're out of sight, out of mind. So these are sweets that we made this week and we want to just get them put away. So we are going to go ahead and get started with that. We're going to do the Rice Krispie treats first. These were delicious. Made with more of a wheat Rice Krispie that I bought from Thrive Market and a little bit healthier. So we're going to individually wrap these. And that way, when we want something sweet, we have something that we can go and get. And we don't go and get more than one at a time. So we're going to go ahead and wrap these. You probably can't see me. I have to get down here a little bit. We're just going to wrap these up in brown paper. And then we're just going to put them in a Ziploc. And I just ran out of Ziplocs today. So I think we have 2. And we'll have to get some more. But I do also have some other plastic bags there, food grade bags that we could put some stuff into. So I use a lot of this brown paper. That way the food really doesn't touch the plastic. I can't have the plastic so much. So this way it just works out really nice. And then you just go in the refrigerator, in the freezer, and you just find the treat that you want to have. And you only just pull out one because we're all dieting right now. And so you don't need much. And here lately, I haven't even been wanting sugar. I'm just so sick of it from the holidays and all that. It's like, get away from me already, you know? It's like, you don't need it.
And you get in a phase where you are trying to do so good, on your diet plan, and you just don't want the temptation. You don't want to see it out in your kitchen. So you want to start choosing healthier things. This was for Valentine's Day, so we're just freezing all of it. If it didn't turn out good, I wouldn't be freezing it, but it did turn out really good, and it is a nice treat for me, to be able to rely on instead of having a treat that is not so halfway healthy. Like this is halfway healthy. It still has the marshmallow in it, but it's the better kind of marshmallow, and all that. So I'm gonna get rid of this. It's really buttery or greasy. So yeah, so I hope you guys are doing good. You guys are having a good day. I hope it's sunny where you're at, because here it's really cold. It's only in the 20s today, and it is snowing real fine, but it is snowing. So it kind of just made a mess out there. And yeah, I'm gonna see if I could put those in there, and then I could put these in here, in this plastic. I'm reusing this bag because I was all out, and this had some sort of a chocolate treat in it. So these will be fine. They're individually wrapped anyway, so. It's nice when we can say goodbye to these treats. Goodbye. Get out of here. Okay, and then I'll write on there a little later. Okay, now we need to let's do these. I think there's only 3 left. There's 3 of these peanut butter cups that we made. I pulled these out for Valentine's Day, and then they didn't get ate. So I'll put them right back in. I could probably find the other thing. Well, I think that's all it was. Maybe. I don't remember. But I'm just going to do it this way. So we can get on with our mushroom soup. And I was going to grab the recipe that I kind of changed. And I left it in the other room. I don't know if I can reuse these aluminum foils. They didn't really have much. This one has some goo on it, so I'll get rid of this one. So this was good. It was made with, if you've seen the video, it was made with cashews and tofu. So we're going to cut this up and try to individually wrap it somehow, if we can. And it was a good alternative to my husband's cheesecake he brought home, which was a lot of calorie, 700 calories. And then the crust was a Cheerio cereal, was the crust. So we saved on a little sugar there. We'll just do that like that. Smells wonderful. I don't know what we'll do with the strawberries, but we might have to get rid of those. It's bad when your fingers get all gooey. Okay, get the rest of this going here. was surprised how well it stayed together. Pretty good for not being the regular. I'm gonna put a little bit of this with this, just to use it up. Not being graham crackers. Okay. We'll be about there. I'm not going to bother with the strawberries. That's kind of hard to keep it going there. This one's a little bit bigger. Just going to get it done. Oh, and I should have went a different way. Yeah. I hope you guys are finding some delicious things to make, something new that maybe you haven't made before, trying new foods or trying new desserts and trying things to make them more, healthier and sugar-free and all of that. It just really helps you on your diet journey if you really watch what you're having and try to change out some things, right? Don't get stuck in a rut where you're just eating bags of candy and just, doing whatever you want. That's not a good place to be. I know I have a friend who loves to eat out of the bags. It just, just loves to, live on stuff that's already prepared, foods that are just, snack type foods, like live on like, potato chips and just anything that comes in a bag just because they don't want to cook, And I'm telling you guys, it's just so worth it to cook. You see, I made some bigger pieces and I made some smaller pieces. So I take out a big piece. I could probably cut it in half for me and my husband. A smaller piece, maybe just for one serving. And then here's another one serving. It doesn't look like much, but it was very good. The only thing I would have maybe done a little bit different was made it in a smaller circumference pan. I use one of those springform pans that pops off. I'm going to buy a smaller one that's like maybe a 6 or 8 inch. That would have been perfect for that. I would have put a little more sugar, imitation sugar, stevia, with the filling itself. Just the syrup didn't give it that pop, that you're used to some sweet. I would have done that. And other than that, everything else was fine, other than just the circumference of the pan. So it got more depth, it was thicker looking. And the a little bit more sugar in the filling part. The crust was perfect. The crust was, it still crunched like a graham cracker. It still felt like a graham cracker in your mouth. That part was great. Let me get rid of this because it's just in my way and it's making a big mess all over. Let me get rid of this and then we can get started on our soup. All right. We'll set that over here for now. We'll have to wash it. All right. You get these in a bag. Sorry about that, you guys. I don't like to leave you. Okay, good enough, good enough. All right, and then these we could just put in maybe like some of these Ziplocs. I don't know how many will fit. Maybe 3. These aren't Ziplocs, sorry, they're just, and then I think they have a little sticker that can go on these. But that will be, and then I can put them in a plastic bag. And then I'll label them. Put 2 in this one, these are pretty big pieces. Put 2 in that one, and then we'll put 2 in the next one. Otherwise, it'll be uneven. All right, great. We're going to put some stickers on these. Keep it closed. These are cute little bags. Did a picnic in this last year and wrapped our food in these bags. It was so cute. Little picnic. I'll find a food bag, food grade bag. We have a big roll. My freezer, I'm running out of space. I really need to clean my refrigerator and my freezer. Maybe I'll do it on video one time. One of these days this week. Find a tie for that. Here's this. All right, then I'll put a label on that as well. So we'll get rid of that. Put these back. Get rid of that paper. Cool. All right, now we can think. I'm going to get rid of this one. We're going to keep these 2. They are pretty good to use. Just need a quick piece of aluminum foil. This one's going to go in the junk. All right, this is going to go in the junk. That's going to get wiped down. All right, you guys, we're going to start cutting up some mushroom. So let's do this. All right. I wish I would have picked a different cutting board. So let me get rid of the celery. I'm going to put my onion and celery in first. Let that cook a little with some ghee. Grass-fed like butter type. And we like onions, so I'm just going to do this whole thing, which you probably can't see me. Let me tip the camera down a little bit. I think that's much better. Yeah, then it can come a little closer. All right. I am so hungry for tomato soup. I was telling my husband, I was looking at, I just made a Thrive Market order. And I was just telling my husband that I'm so hungry for mushroom soup. I mean, for tomato soup, sorry. And I was just like, but every can of tomato soup that you find in the store is just so full of sodium. I can't have that, all that sodium. So I really have to watch it. So really gonna, when tomatoes are in season this summer, I'm really going to do a lot of canning, especially some tomato soup and some sauce that I can have that is sodium free. I'm definitely going to do that. My husband makes sauce every year, but he likes the meat in it and all that, his Italian way, you know, and I just can't do all that. He shouldn't be doing it either, but he doesn't seem to. Oh well. Let me get rid of some of this so I got room for some more. It seems like awful lot, but got quite a bit of mushroom too to chop, so should be nice and bulky. Is there anything you guys are cooking this week? Anything special? I think I'm going to have to get rid of this sweater. It's working. I'm getting warm. And we're just hanging out today, so don't mind how I'm dressed. I'm just hanging out, having a good time, and making something healthy for dinner tonight. We're going to have this for dinner, and I'm going to have this for dinner. Now, my husband is probably going to have something else. And he asked me today something about what's cooking or whatever, you know. But here lately, I haven't been really cooking much food-wise food. I've been making the sweets and stuff like that for my videos, but cooking-wise, I haven't really been doing a whole lot of cooking because it seems like every night he's bringing home food from a restaurant, you know, that he wants to eat. So I just make myself some healthier stuff, and that's what I have. And I try to avoid his way he eats, try to avoid the restaurant stuff. It's not always easy to, you know, to not eat what your husband or partner is eating, you know, and to try to eat off by yourself. It's not the sexiest thing, you know, but hey, you know, it can help save your life, you know, it can help you to get in a better place. And that's what I want to do. I want to get in a healthier space. I want to get in a healthier mind frame and just a total. I got to get rid of the sweater. I just have to, even though my undershirt shows and my plastic is starting to fall off my arms. It's just, it is what it is around here, right? It just is what it is. It is what it is. So let's just go with it. And I have a bigger knife, but I don't like using a bigger knife. All right. So I have to exercise yet. I'm going to get this soup going, and then I have to exercise yet. It's about 27 degrees out. I haven't made up my mind if I'm going to get out and take a lap, but I might. I might have enough time to get this soup going and get out and take at least a lap around. It's pretty cold out there, but when you get outside, it's just something about the fresh air It just makes you feel good, you know? Feel like you're living instead of being stuck in the house all winter. I do have a bunch of papers that's sitting by my back door to burn off. So we have fires from time to time, and we burn off a lot of receipts, papers, work, stuff. So I would like to get a fire going, but I think everything's too damp today. One of these days I'll have it on video. I'll make a fire. We can be outside a little bit. I'll make a nice fire for us. That'd be fun. So fun. But we're not going to have s'mores, and we're not going to have more marshmallows. We are not doing that this week. We are going to be good this week. Enough sweets. I have had my fill. Oh, can't tell you how much I've had my fill. And at least, if anything else, at least it wasn't all real sugar for me. You know, at least most of it was sugar-free. And that's a good thing. So that helps us out a lot too. I can't wait till we can get outside. Set my greenhouse up. Grow some plants. I have the grow light on my trees and my strawberries. I'm hoping they're going to come up in my pantry. I have them in my pantry window. I hope they're going to come up, and I'm giving them a little bit of artificial light, hoping that they will, take off. They will start to do something. Okay, I'm going to move you guys. I'm going to move the camera. I'm going to move the pot over to the stove, and I'm going to move you guys. Let's see, get some stuff out of the way. If I had this thing turned off, I could put you guys on this. Cleaned off. I could put you guys on this. Pretty good. We'll dry it off. I don't know what that was on that piece of tape or something. That way I can put you guys up here. Put a towel over it. So the computer doesn't get anything on it in case I missed something. I'm going to put you over here. And then I'm going to bring a cutting board over here. Put a cutting board over here. We're going to cut up these mushrooms. We're going to put some ghee in there. Okay, let me get a new rag. Okay, so we got a new towel. We're going to put some ghee. This is clarified butter, pasture-raised cows, calories 45 per tablespoon, and this is grass-fed cows, USDA non-GMO. So you could use this, or you could use a little olive oil. Goodness. I'm going to use a tablespoon. Find my Claritin, man. I know I have some. I just know I do. We're going to turn the burner on and get this going. Let's see here. not real low, but kind of towards the low end. And then I'm going to bring over the mushrooms and something to put them in because we won't be ready for the mushrooms yet. Let's see. Need a little strainer or a little. I already washed them. Excuse me. So I was just getting so many mushrooms, and it's like I need to do something with them. And depending on you and how big a bite you take or however you like them chopped, you can make them small, you can make them chunky, however you like it to be. And we used to always take all the stem off of the mushrooms when we would cook them at home until my brother was in the Air Force. And I believe Air Force. He was in the Air Force and the Navy. Might have been I don't know, either one of them. And he was a cook there. And he said, they take all those stems off the mushroom like we do, but they don't throw them away. They end up making soup out of them. So they eat them anyway. So I started leaving them on. And so what's the difference, right? So he said, they call it chow hall or something like that. He said, we cook them, we eat them. So don't take them off. There's lots of nutrients in the stem. So we would always take them off of the white button mushrooms, but now I don't. I was like, I heard that. I was like, well, I'm going to go ahead and use them too in my soup. Right? Make it a little bit tastier. Add a little bit more filling to the bowl, to the soup batch. Now we'll make this and we'll probably eat on this for a couple days. We'll put it in the fridge after we have some. And we'll probably have this today, tomorrow. And let me get a little spoon for that to stir it around. I don't know what happened to might be in the dishwasher. I ran those dishes and get the ghee down there at the bottom so it can kind of coat the pan. We'll let this go a little bit, and then when this starts getting a little bit, like the onions start getting a little bit tender, then we'll go ahead and add some water. So the carrots can get done. Carrots can cook down a little bit. I mean, it's really easy to make soup. Usually when I make soup, I make 2 or 3 batches at a time of different soups, but I just don't have room in my freezer right now, so I can't cook too much right now. There's just from Christmas and the holidays and birthdays and all that, just my fridge and my freezer is both just really packed right now, and so we have to go easy on recipes this week. We have to find other wonderful things to talk about. And I'm sure we can come up with a lot of stuff around here. Oh my goodness. I'm sure we can. So today I had my first microgreens on my 1 piece of avocado toast I had for lunch. And I want to tell you, they taste so good. They tasted so good. They were just like, they just added an extra healthy layer to my toast. It was just so delicious. Okay, we're going to get the other mushrooms. I'm going to cut all these up while we keep stirring and stirring here. If we have to add a little water, then we will. So My husband loves mushrooms. I love mushrooms. So why not, right? That way we don't have to buy out tonight or cook out. Cook, you know what I'm trying to say. I'm so sick of the restaurant food. It's like, ugh. Like enough already. Got quite a few here. Wow. Realized it was so much when I was watching it. For you guys to sit here and watch me chop. So, made a little flub up right there. All right. So I wonder what your guys' favorite soup is. You can put it in the comments below what you like the best, what your favorite food is, what your favorite soup, your favorite soup is. I love mushroom soup and I love tomato. Vegetable soup, it's okay if it's like homemade, but out of a can, I'm not crazy about it. Starting to get a little steam going now. It's going to have wonderful flavor. And I really need to find my recipe. I know I left it in my little folder I've been carrying around this week. I have to go and get it because there's something in there that I want to talk to you guys about too. But now that I found the pause button, I'm so much better off. It helps so much. You don't know how, because you can't always just do an hour video that's not interrupted. You know what I mean? Very difficult. You have life to live too. You have other things to do. Even though I love being on here with you guys and for you guys and, showing my support. I'm doing these videos to show my support for you guys, So if you're looking to lose weight, you're obese or you need to lose weight and you know it, I'm here to support you emotionally, like get through it, It's not easy. And I'm not talking to somebody that wants to lose 5 or 10 pounds. I'm talking to the people who, have 40, 50, 60 pounds to lose, hundreds, whatever, I'm talking to those people who are really struggling with their health. I'm talking to those people who would need my help. That's who I mean, So and I don't have like foods that get shipped to your house and you have to eat what I say and, like the door, it comes to your door and all that. You get to choose the foods you want to eat, You just have to maybe cut back and eat them a different way so they're healthy for you, And a lot of times when you're, overweight, you don't know exactly what's healthy for you. You got into this rut that you're eating all the wrong shit, and you don't know exactly what you should be eating and how to get your blood pressure lower and how to, how to change your ways, how to become better and healthier and create a better you, you don't know how. So cooking at home is one way. Cooking at home and eating what you make from the store, regular, wholesome foods that are delicious, they're good for you. And there's so many delicious recipes out there to choose from that even in my program, I have some recipes and things, and some of them are just so good that you don't have that urge to like eat anything other than what's healthy, you know? I mean, you really get in a routine where you want all the healthier foods that you can get, you know? And it wasn't easy for me to get started either, you know, but I was eating way off track. Just I was eating whatever I wanted, you know, and that's not good. When you just, you know, lose control of what's healthy and you're eating on the run and you're busy and you're just eating whatever the heck comes fast, you know, and that's a really good way to get overweight. Anything that's quick because you got other things to do instead of taking care of your health, you know? Terrible. That everything else and everybody else becomes before you and your health, you know? That's not good. Let's see what we got. Yeah, we got those onions starting to cook. Starting to get a little tender. We got quite a few more here mushrooms. We're going to do those. Okay. A few more. I know it seems like it's never ending, right? There's going to be a lot of mushrooms in here. It's going to be really meaty. But you know, when you cook mushrooms, they cook down so minute. You think that you have a lot of mushrooms in here, and then once it becomes soup, it's like you can hardly find the mushroom, right? I'm sure you've made soup like that before. It's just so minute. So I know in the recipe we're going to be using some nutritional yeast. Give it a little bit of oomph because we're not using salt. And that's about it. That and just letting it cook down, and a little bit of milk, maybe a little bit of cream. Cream it a little bit. And I eat a lot of plant-based, but I also still have a little bit of dairy. But I don't eat the beef. I don't eat beef. And I don't hardly eat pork anymore. I tried a pork chop not too long ago, and it like just almost turned my stomach. So I'm like, you know, I can't do that. Unless it was in a really small, like, not like a pork chop, but like if it's like mixed in like a real small little serving of it or something, you know, like mixed in with some other vegetables or a, you know, soup or, you know, something like that. We're almost there, you guys. We're almost to the end. Our last two. Yay! All right. Okay, we'll get rid of this. The sink, we'll get rid of these. Right there. There. We have our little scraps that we save for our worms. So those are to feed our worms tonight. from the scraps that's from our food that I'm making now, from the soup that I'm making. And so that's going to feed them, which it's just stuff that we would throw away anyway, right? So it's kind of helpful. All right, what else we got to do here? Got to get rid of this and this. Yep. And we're going to get a new rag. Yeah, clean one. Wipe up a bit. Oh yeah, nice. Onions are getting nice. We're going to add some water soon. Okay. We're going to add some water. Then we're going to add these mushrooms. Yep. We're done with the ghee. Here's the nutritional yeast I was talking about that we're going to use. And it is 2 tablespoons for 40 calories. And it kind of gives it a cheesy, savory seasoning without the dairy. So we're going to try that in this soup just because we're not putting in salt. And I think it would give it a little oomph. So we're going to do that. Because the recipe actually called for salt. But I don't use salt when I make soups because I'm trying to watch my blood pressure and get healthy. And then when you eat a lot of salty things, you hold on to a lot of water weight. So, which way I need to go? So when you don't eat as much salt, you can see yourself like getting thinner. You feel thinner because you're not eating all that restaurant food and you're not like taking in a bunch of salt. But as soon as you start eating, a lot of restaurant food and a lot of salt, you're going to pick up 5 pounds. You just really are. I'm trying to figure out how I can cover that up. Sorry, guys. So I'm going to go and get I'm going to put some water in here. I'm going to go and get some of my good water, fountain water from the store. I'm going to find a little jug. I'm going to grab some water so we can pour it in there. Then we can put the mushrooms. We can turn it down low, and then I can talk to you about stress, okay? So let me do that. Okay, so I want to get really serious with you guys. And whatever I share on this channel is my own personal opinion and my own personal story and my own personal experience. So I'm not a doctor. I'm not a dietitian. I don't claim to be. I'm not a professional doctor or anything like that. And so what I share on here is my own personal life, my own personal experience of what I've had. So today we're going to be talking about stress, and I've had a ton of it throughout life. And so we're going to be talking about ways to reduce your stress, especially if you have like high blood pressure or diabetic or something that can just make you feel off kilter at times. And it can help you to be able to control it a little bit, to handle it yourself, right? Before you can see a doctor or whatever. But you always go by your own doctor's advice, always. But I'm just sharing my experience of what happened to me, how I was able to manage my stress, how I was able to bring my stress level down, how I was able to bring my blood pressure down, and all of that. So this is just only my story, okay? So let's make that clear. So many people cope with stress. So letting the insanity of their busy lives override their heart, their brain, and any free time they try to take. It's almost like they are being driven by some outer force to work, to work, to work.
and to stay busy working, right? So that was me when I owned my shop. I had an alteration shop for 25 years, and I owned the shop, and I had 3 locations at one time, and I was totally stressed out. And I was pregnant also. And it was just overwhelming, and it was just, so a lot of these techniques I learned during that time, but I have also used them recently when my blood pressure was high about a year or so ago, or maybe a little over a year. So they never seem to slow down. The motion to stop and take a deep breath, and to take some quiet time to really see what's important and think about how they spend their time. The same people may suffer from anxiety, depression, high blood pressure, or other stress related illnesses. Knowing how to slow yourself down and to relax can improve your mental function and improve your sleep and much more and much more. Sorry. Here, I want to go over the exercises that I did to help me improve my high blood pressure and when I needed to relax from stress and anxiety, because I also, at one time, during the time that I had the 3 locations, I did go through anxiety periods. And there was a point where I didn't even want to leave my home. I was afraid to leave my home. So I know what anxiety is all about. I know what it feels like, and it is a very scary thing when it starts to take over your life. And so I do these simple things that help me so much. So the first one that I do that I think that is really helpful, especially if you have high blood pressure or you have a high pulse or something like that. Like I said, I'm not a doctor, but this is what helped me, because when I was living in Nebraska, I had a really high pulse then, and so they told me to do these exercises at this time, and it really, really relieved it, and it really got me back, where my heart was going at a slower rate, where it was supposed to, normal range. Okay. So and what it is you just lie down and you put your feet above your heart. So I'm going to do that and just kind of demonstrate what it is. You can lay on the floor and you can prop your feet straight up on the wall, but a lot of you are not able to get on the floor and get back up, and I understand that. So you can just lay on in your bed. You can prop your feet up with, a couple, 2, 3 pillows. You could lay on a sofa like this. Like, this is just a love seat. So I could lay down and my heart is down here, and I put my feet up on the arm of the chair. So my heart is lower than my feet. So then the blood comes down, and it comes from my feet, it comes down and it recirculates in my heart, and it like takes the pressure off my heart, right? So if you are feeling like really high blood pressure, or really um high, your pulse rate is going too fast or whatever, or even if you're suffering from anxiety or whatever, if you just lay down and just take a nice uh, 10 to 15, 20 minute, if you can, and just relax, read a book or a magazine, and just, or put your headphones in and listen to some music. And it really helps you to calm down, and you'll start to see a difference, especially if you do it in a repeated fashion. If you do it every single day at a certain time, you'll start to really see the improvement. You won't see the improvement if you're just doing it once in a while. You want to be doing it every day. Like when I was in Nebraska and my heart rate was too high, I had to do it like 3 times a day, and it really brought it down. I mean, and I had to do it regularly every, so many few hours or whatever, and it really brought it down. So that was very helpful to me. It was very helpful for me to learn that technique. So that was one that I use it a lot, when I'm feeling one way or another, that I just need to like just slow down, so that's a good one. And then the other one that I do a lot, and I have to do this like when I try to get to sleep sometime, especially if I eat something that is like restaurant food and I get sodium and I didn't intend to get sodium, and then it raises my blood pressure and my heart is just pounding, and I can't stand that. And I need to like settle down, right? So I do the deep breathing little exercise that I do. I don't know if it's, this is what I do, and it helps me. So I would think that it would help you, but I don't know you, and I don't know, your situation or whatever. So, but you could try it. And I do this all the time. I mean, all the time. Sometimes I'll get overly worked up over something happening or something going on, and my blood pressure, I can feel it raising, and I can feel, I'm getting anxious, and I just need to calm down. And I do this breathing exercise all the time. And so what you do is you can sit, you can lie. It's probably better if you lay down, but you can lay down and you can just breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth slowly. And when you blow out through your mouth, you lengthen the breath coming out until you can't lengthen it anymore. Okay, so let's try it. We're going to go in through our nose and push out through our mouth slowly, but you're going to lengthen the breath. Okay, so let's try it. Until you have nothing else to give, right? And so you want to do that like 4 times. So do that like 4 times, and it really gets you in a different state of mind, and it also like helps you to calm yourself. It really can calm you down. So that one is very helpful, and use that tool as often as you can. It will help you through some very difficult situations, and it has me. Number 3 is to lay down and chant or get a steady vibration going with your mouth, and keep doing it like 10 minutes, or make it actually make you feel good. It makes you feel good. So you can just like, you can chant something. You can, I hate to say it, but you can look online and there's a bunch of different like humming vibrations that you can do where you say, different things. I'm not going to say one thing or the other because some of them stand for different, like, I don't know, religions. I don't know what they stand for, but I just do like a humming motion, like hum, something like that. So what I do is I just kind of like lay down and you just relax for like 10 minutes. And you have your head down, of course, you have your head all the way down on the floor, and you're laying flat, right? You're not like this, but you're laying flat, and you just hum, just till you can't do it anymore. Then you start over again. You do it again. And you can look up some chants too. You can do chants, you can do humming. Anything that kind of gets that vibration going in your body is very soothing. It's very relaxing. And it's something that you could practice and you could do. And it's very calming. It takes your mind off of what stressful thing you're thinking about. You're keeping your mind on your breath and trying to keep the humming going. And it like really, I don't know how to explain it, but it just really is soothing to you. So you can do that. And there's different chants and there's different vibrations that you can actually raise your vibration of yourself. You can raise the aura around you, raise the vibration. So you'll have to look that up because I don't know all those by heart. So, but yeah. So there's that one. And then meditation. I love meditation. I have 5 writings in the book called 111 Morning Meditations by Sunny Dawn Johnston. It's her book, but we have 86 co-authors in that book. I have 5 meditations that I've written that are in that book. If you buy the book from me, I get credit and I get paid. But if you buy the book from her, I don't get anything on Amazon. So, but yeah, I have that book. And it's a wonderful book. There's all different kinds of meditations from all different kinds of gals. There's just a bunch of us co-authors. So but you can meditate. So you could look up some different meditations and do a 15-minute meditation during the day. If you start off just maybe once a day, I know everybody's busy and it's hard to take the time to do it. But if you're at home and, maybe before you go out to work, if you have a little bit leisurely schedule, maybe you can do it before you go to work. It would help you, or before you go to bed. It could help you maybe sleep better and help you along the way. But if you get in the practice of doing it on a daily basis, that's when these things work. They work in your favor, right? So you could do meditations. So you and one of the meditations that I like is the one where you do a meditation, especially if you're stressed. You do a meditation where you block out anything incoming. You block out everything, every thought that's coming in, you block it out. You just say block it out, that you want to block it out. And you just worry about just thinking about nothing, and don't let anything take over your mind. You just have a clear mind. That's what helps me with stress, is just block everything out, because sometimes when you're stressed your mind is overloaded, right? So if you just try to block everything out and not think about one thing. And then there's wonderful walking, meditations that walk you through a process. I love those. Those are very nice, especially when they're written by someone else and you don't know the outcome, and it kind of takes you on a little travel with your mind, and it just is so soothing, and so like it keeps your mind occupied for a time or two, and it's just a wonderful little path to take, right, for a few minutes. So those are really nice too. And then number 5 is drawing or painting. So I mentioned in one of the other videos that I did how when I was going through divorce, how I did a lot of painting, and painting really helped me relieve a lot of stress, and it helped me to beautify my rooms in my house and all that. But it really helped me work through the process of getting divorced. And so, yeah, that helps me. And drawing too, especially if you are not following some sort of a diagram or some sort of a pattern. If you free for all, you free draw whatever comes to your mind, whatever you want to, just draw, doodle, whatever you want to. The same thing with painting. That's when you're really relieving stress. You can see like the different color choices that you choose, and and all of that, they all have a meaning and stuff. It's just so interesting, right? So you can do some of that, and that's a very good stress reliever. It helped me so much. I still do that. I still get out just a sheet of paper and take an ink pen and just start drawing flower. I love to draw flowers, so I'll just draw flowers and just keep drawing, and it just really helps me. So number 6 is do a mind dump. So we talk about this a little bit more in our program, where you just unload everything that's on your mind. So you just take a sheet of paper or a tablet, and you just keep writing about everything that's on your mind that's stressing you out. You just write it freely. No one has to read it. You just write every single little thing that bothers you. And that is helpful. So you can do that too. So I hope these helped you to relieve some stress. I know they have worked for me so much, and I can't tell you how much. And I'm not just saying that to be saying content on this channel. I'm saying it from real life experience. All of these have helped me so much to relieve stress, to um to get through anxiety, to get through different things that I've had to go to, different family funerals, and just different things. They've all helped me so much. So I hope you guys like this, you enjoyed this. Let me know in the comments below if you enjoyed the stress part of this video. That would be so helpful to me. Just put a yes in the comments below that you enjoyed this. The yes, I'll understand that that's what it was about. And so yeah, so I hope that this really worked for you. So I just wanted to show you our mushroom soup is starting to cook down. Look at that. It's looking amazing. And it makes the house smell so good. It smells so good. It's going to be delicious. We're going to add a little rosemary, and we're going to add a little cream and a little milk, and cream it up just a little bit.
and that will give it some nutritional yeast. We're going to add that. And then let me show you the yogurt, the strawberry yogurt we've been making. So let me show you that. It is starting to do really nicely. It's in the oven. Had it in the oven under the lights. You can see it's starting to hold its shape and hold together. So that means it's curing. It's doing its thing. And we'll leave that in there till like bedtime tonight, and then we'll take it out and then strain it and make it into a Greek yogurt. So, yeah, so that's going to be awesome. I just got back from my walk. So I just walked the property. I just got back. I'm going to get on my trampoline here in a little bit. And I have one more thing I'd like to share with you guys today. So let's go. So in our video today, we were talking about stress and how stress really plays a huge role in our life at times, and the ways to overcome stress. So I just want to kind of leave you with this. I have my little book out today, and I'm going to give you a little prayer today. And this book is by Thomas Nelson, A Day Book of Prayer. And I love this little book because it has the days of the year. It has the days. So we're going to be reading February 16th today. And this is what it has to say and how it goes along with what we shared today about stress and things. And it really does make sense. So I want to leave you with this. I thought it would be kind of nice. And that way I get my scripture in for the day too. And it just works out wonderful. Okay. So here we go. So February 16th. Give God your troubles. Therefore, let all who are faithful offer prayer to you. At a time of distress, the rush of mighty waters shall not reach them. You are a hiding place for me. You preserve me from trouble. You surround me with glad cries of deliverance. Psalms 32, 6 through 7. Then it goes on to say, what are the things we should lay before the Almighty God in prayer? Answer, first, our personal troubles, which I was talking about, stress and our troubles and all that um, relate to stress, right? Our stressors. In Psalms 32, David cried out, you are my hiding place. You will protect me from trouble and surround me with songs of deliverance. Verse 7. Likewise, in Psalms 142, I cry aloud to the Lord. I pour out my complaint before him. Before him, I tell my trouble. When we pray, we should keep in mind all of the shortcomings and excesses we feel, like in excessive food, right? We eat excessively sometimes when we're stressed or we have strain on us, or emotions, right? So this is what they say, and pour them out freely to God. Our faithful Father who is ready to help. If you do not know or recognize your needs or think you have none, then you are not in the worst possible place. The greatest trouble we can ever know is thinking that we have no trouble, for we have become hard-hearted, and insensible to what is inside of us. Martin Luther. That's who it was written by. And then a little insert below, it says, Heavenly Father, I lay all my troubles before you, all my needs. Thank you for hearing my cry and rescuing me. Amen. You have to believe that he has you covered. You have to believe in him. Put your faith in him, right? And all good things will come to you, right? So that is just the way it is. And whatever you are is what you attract. And I figure I'm just going to try to be my authentic self on here. I'm going to try to be just who I really am, and not try to be something someone else is. I'm just real. And I think people can relate to that more than if I were to try to be some polished person.
which, yes, I love to get dolled up. Yes, I love to, have nice things and things like that. Who doesn't? But there's also a real me too that just likes the simple things in life, like taking a hike, working in my garden, canning some things, just baking, just doing just the normal things, housewives do, right? And so I want you to be able to relate to that, because we all, especially us women, we go for the sweets, and we do have stressors, and we have to learn how to deal with them. If we are able to overcome some of them, we can focus more on what really matters, like our weight, our health, and to be able to relax more, and to be able to do some really good things for ourselves, to show ourselves that we care, that we are important. If nobody else around us thinks that we are good and we are important, we know ourselves that we are important and that we are worthy of losing weight. We are all worthy of that. So I want to leave you with that today. And I know in my heart that you guys are worthy of losing weight. And I know that I have a plan that you can follow to get to where you need to get, and to be able to do that. So I will put a link in the description where you can book a call with me if you're interested in my program. It is a 90-day program, or we can let it go a little longer. We can do it by Zoom, or we can do it just by phone call, whatever you prefer. Sometimes people don't want to be on film when they're overweight. They don't feel good about themselves at first, right? So however you want to go about it, it's in private, and no one else listens to our conversations, and it's just between you and I. And we go from there, right? And we make a beautiful you out of you, right? So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the content today. Please like and subscribe. I would appreciate it. And I want you to let me know if you like this content. Thank you so much. And I'll talk to you all tomorrow. Bye bye now. Have a good night.